questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on for deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Wrong way around.
Oh my days. If this was a roller coaster, I don't know how we're still standing after today.
Well,
big up everyone.
It all started when we was playing clubs last night.
Yeah, it did, but up the speed at which it just escalated was crazy. But listen, big up everyone. Hope you're good. Listen, we're potentially talking about a new manager here. But even with that, there's obviously the rumors. There's been confirmation that other managers weren't up for it. We've had obviously press conferences being cancelled today. That led to conspiracy theories. We've now got confirmation that Roy's okay. That's definitely good. So I know everyone, as much as they might have a viewpoint on his managerial wise, everyone was just making sure he's okay, which has then also led to like us looking at the board, how they've treated the whole situation. It has been a crazy, I would say, 12 hours. JC, how you doing, mate?
Well, I didn't get much sleep because I was refreshing Twitter last night. And then when I woke up this morning, I was at work. I was still refreshing Twitter, so it is what it is. My screen time today is probably disgusting, so I don't even want to check that. But, man, obviously the main thing is that Hodgson's okay.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think no matter what anyone says, like, as a human, I hope he's okay. Like, he may have done some dodgy things managerially, but, you know, he's okay now. And then, obviously, that makes you look at the board as well, doesn't it? Why did you put him in this situation? Never should have hired him back in the first place. But Texter has... No one can chat to Texter now. I'll say this. If you start talking smack about Texter now, yeah, you're a fraud. Because this guy's been wanting Glasner, he's been wanting McKenna for time. Yeah? And, what Paris said, yeah, we're going to stick it out of Hodgson and get McKenna. But guess what? McKenna fell through. Got cold feet at the end. Whether that's he didn't back himself to do the job or whether he just wanted to finish the season with Ipswich.
Which is fair enough, to be fair.
But if it is the back himself, then is that really the kind of managerial mindset that we wanted as a Premier League club? Probably not. And also, Glasner's won a big trophy, a major trophy, whereas McKenna's in his, second year of managing ever. So, you know, I'm looking forward to what we're going to talk about today because what a switch up between Hodgson and Glasner, really. However, the playing style may not be so different. I'll say that.
Yeah, and we're going to go into that and look into that in a bit more detail tonight as well. Bear in mind, guys, we will drop the link at some point so you guys can come in and have your say. I'll be jumping off about 7:45. I'm going to be going on another stream at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to get set up for that. So we may still be live at the time, but I'll be gone. Dan's on his way as well. But yeah, you know what? Let's kick it off because as JC said earlier, it started last night. Now, don't get me wrong. Glasner's name's been banded around for like in the random tweets here or there. Obviously, the main ones have been Cooper, McKenna, Lopetegui, Fonseca was banded around a bit, Potter. So Glasner was kind of one of those outside chances there. You know, yesterday, me and JC playing clubs, cussing each other on clubs.
Yeah,
as we really do.
I was having a mare. I can't lie to you. I scored one goal as a striker all night.
I started off well, started fading towards the end. I think I was getting tired.
I had my best game in midfield.
Now, next minute, phone's pinging. I'm thinking, what's going on? I look at the phone whilst playing club. Like, you know that moment where you just stand with the football, like on EA24, and I got the man them shouting, "Yo, Rich!" I'm like, "Yo, sorry, bye. I'm I'm hearing news of Glasner. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on here? And it's not even like it's from any random tweet. It was Ed Aaron's. I just like, no way. And I believe the tweet yesterday said that the board have now finally come to the agreement that Hodgson needs to go. So it's just like, right. I think actually I got the beginning of this here. If I go to the overlays, I think the beginning of it was, so this was where it started off. Crystal Palace have lined up former Frankfurt manager Oliver Glasner to take over if we decide to set Roy Hodgson, as pressure goes on the 76-year-old. Understand some board members expected Hill's defeat to spell the end for the former England manager. It then go on to say that obviously Parish just really, really, really wanted to keep Hodgson to the end of the season, but he's kind of like understood that it's best to have change now. I won't lie, my head was gone after that. I think FIFA was on the back burner. I was literally just refreshing. Like, I need some more information. I need it to be just more than Ed Aaron's. Someone else say something, please. Fab bomb. I was like, yo, Fab as well? And then I think there was like a carousel of reporters.
The Alan Nixon beefing the fans is kind of funny, though, I have to say. Do you see Ollie's thing? He posted John Cena versus The Rock WrestleMania. Alan Nixon versus Palace fans. That one was funny.
There was also another one that I don't know who it might have been Tandino, but it was when Stone Cold visited Vince, and Vince was in the hospital bed.
Making sure you don't have to pay out the rest of his contract.
Literally.
That one, yeah. But man, it was a bit mad, just thinking of going from absolutely nothing to having Ed Aarons, who's probably one of our most trusted reporters, and then followed by Edmund Brack, who's been my go-to guy lately when it comes to information, because Edmund Brack's been on it lately when it comes to Palace news, and then a Fab bomb as well. Only issue I see with a Fab bomb is he got Elise wrong and he got Favre wrong. So I don't trust Fab with anything Palace related anymore. Yeah. So I honestly I trust Edmund Brack more than I trust Fab right now. So right now I'm saying that I'm talking in the sense of if Palace release Glasner tomorrow or something, I'm saying this is that it's done. But I'm still not fully believing until I see him holding that Palace shirt or I see him signing that contract, because anything can happen. Because the same thing happened with Favre. Certain man on Twitter was saying, "Yeah, I'm friends with this guy. It's all done. Trust me, I'm in the know." Guess what? Fell through. So,
yeah, that was crazy. But here were the Fab bombs. So this was the initial one. This was last night, I believe. So this was this morning. Palace and Glasner will be again in contact today in order to agree a contract with the manager. Negotiations ongoing with Roy Hodgson, expected to leave the club with immediate effect if that's the case. Then, like not long later, he's saying that we appointed him. Now, this is where it gets a bit techie, because there are rumors that Roy was going to announce that he's stepping down during the press conference. How true that is, we don't know. Obviously, he's unfortunately fell ill. So that then becomes obviously the main focus, But then I did say conspiracy theories started kicking in. We're hearing that people thinking it's a lie. People thinking, they've thrown him on the bus. Like, why is he doing a press conference if they're going to sack him? Which is fair too. I think is wrong.
Yeah, if you're going to get sacked, it'll be mean to put him in a press conference, just pull him out. But I do think doing that on medical grounds is a bit mad.
Yeah,
a bit insensitive.
Yeah. Then people are thinking like, and fans are right to be skeptical, by the way. Like, these are just opinions that were thrown about. Why didn't Ray or Paddy take the press conference and stuff? So there's a lots of like, it was just all up in the air, which was crazy. We have got confirmation that Ray is okay. He's gone home. Parish was with him.
Yeah,
he's been sent home.
That's nice of Parish to go to the hospital with Roy as well.
Yeah,
I have to say,
absolutely. The question is, was he like, whilst Roy was there lying there, just like, thanks for your services? We don't know.
I doubt it. I reckon they already had that conversation.
They probably have, to be fair, which obviously may now actually delay the announcement as well, because obviously Roy's health is going to be like number one priority at the moment.
Yeah,
So,
it could be a thing of Roy retires or steps down due to medical grounds.
yeah.
Because this is the second time this season that he's fallen ill,
Mm.
isn't it? He had it. I think it happened once at the start of the season, and then now again. So this is
because
2 times.
I think Paddy took over the Villa away game, I believe it was.
I can't remember, but it was one of those games where I know we lost badly.
We lost, yeah.
But yeah, this is the second time this season. I think that my guy's nearly 80, man. Like, he shouldn't be put in a high stress scenario.
This is it.
And having like he should just be chilling and resting, man. Like, nearly 80 years old. Like, it's mad that he's still doing the job. And even to be fair, at the start of this season, he was pulling off miracles for us, like beating Man United and stuff like that. So, you know, he still had it in there. It's just that I think he lost it a little bit due to old age, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%.
Stuck in his ways a little bit.
Yeah. Let's hit some comments before we talk about the board in itself.
Yeah. Big up Luke saying, looking forward to hear what you guys say today. Yeah, he even DM'd me on Instagram last night saying, I hope you man are streaming. I said, of course. Big up Caleb, big up Chairman, big up Damo, big up 90s Kid, big up Michael. Soap opera, bro. It's like EastEnders.
100%.
True that. Big up UK Pat. It says big up Rich T in the GOAT. I can't lie. I'm happy he's a suitable manager. Man like Oliver G. Glasner, yes, please. This is now the John Texter fan channel. I mean, I wouldn't say it never wasn't. I feel like there's some serious bias here when it comes to Texter in this channel.
There is.
But he's never done us wrong.
This is it.
I haven't seen anything wrong. Like, obviously, there's some things that are questionable that we ask questions about, but obviously, we're not in the know. So, you know, we hear reports, but if we ask him, he might say, no, that's false or whatever. So, it's what it is. Fair play Texter, put in, like I said this now, put in a 76-year-old in a high pressure position is criminal.
Yeah. That was mad, trying to get him to the press conference. That's crazy.
I think he's talking about me on clubs. More goals than Edward and Mateo last month. I like this appointment. Sign. Listen, you go watch the football video. You don't want me to play for Palace, trust me.
Isn't that Rich's job?
I will be there.
I mean, he's got the dreads now. So.
Exactly.
Big up Anfield Uncle Rods. Get Ebue and Plange in the squad. Plange, nah. Ebue, he's out on loan, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Big up Monty. Yeah, gets a rest, Roy. Simon Jordan's a bum. We know this already. Last season away. Yeah, so
it was Villa this season, yeah.
Big up. Very sour end, but appreciate stabilize after the first spell and the last 10. 100%. We need to credit him for that. New ideas from a new coach. New ideas, but potentially maybe a very similar play style to what Hodgson's already doing. I would say if you could pinpoint one person he sort of replicates the most, I'd say it's more of a new style Mourinho. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Mate, I can't read properly, man. I'm too excited. 3-4-2-1 formation with 2 10s, not wingers. So that's going to be a bit mad. We're going to see Mitchell playing as a proper wing back. That's going to be.
He may end up being centre back in the 3.
Who plays left? Who plays left then? Schlupp? Are you? Right?
No, but those wingers become inverted anyway because his holding players are the ones that will cover the. It's mad techie.
The thing is, I haven't fully done my research yet, so.
Sorry, Dan's got us covered.
Yeah, he does. He's got the.
Is everything okay at Gravity, Nikki?
Yeah, everything's great. It's just a lot of kids on the nearest lane.
Not nasty voice crack. Yeah. who would be wing backs in a 3-4-2-1. We'll speak about that when Dan gets here. Can confirm like feels 7 each. Plays 3 at the back. IU 3-4-3 formation. Really, but any. That's all the comments.
Oh,
That's all the
Glasner
comments.
then.
Nicky, what are we saying about Glasner, man? Are you excited?
I mean, it's the previous comment that said, new manager, new ideas. Very, very something similar to that. I'm excited about just something new. Something
If that
new
loan
and
is
balanced.
successful.
Hold on a sec.
If that loan is successful,
That is a shout.
if the loan's already successful, he started all his games so far.
Teo at wing back that would be decent.
Hey, Teo and Muniz.
Ooh,
Aye, that's mad attacking.
that's a techie system. But yeah, no, I'm excited because it's something new. It's something that we haven't seen since Vieira was signed. We've got actually a manager who will progress. Maybe this might not be instant success, but hey, it's new. Hooray!
100%. Damn, bro.
These kids, it's a youth group carers that I put on. So yeah,
So it's your fault.
it is my fault. Yeah, I cursed myself, but oh well.
I tell them to subscribe.
I think.
Funnily enough, as you say that, I had some people come in. The kids were in the Palace training kit. I said, oh, well done. It's just like, oh, you're from Eagle Eyed Football. Because they did a fan cam reaction. They were the Little Eagles.
Oh.
They did a fan cam reaction. It was like,
okay,
we know you from the channel.
We know who they are.
Yeah, we know which ones they are.
Mm-hmm.
Were they with their fathers as well?
Yeah.
Were the fathers
Trump.
sober by any chance?
I don't remember seeing the dad. I just remember seeing the kids. I just saw the kids and it was like, oh,
Because every time we see them, they're not sober.
I think they were well behaved today.
So if we get back on track again. So you know how he plays 3 at the back? I'm playing fully devil's advocate here because I'm fully up for a complete change. We just need something to change. But the last time we went 3 at the back is Frank de Boer, and we saw how that went. Do you think that because we've got better players now that system's got more chance of working?
I just think yes, that's one, and 2, I just think he knows what he's doing with it.
He's won a big trophy with it as well, hasn't
he? Yeah,
beat Barcelona in the final, didn't he? Was it in the final? I know, but he beat Barcelona, didn't he?
Yeah, because I think they beat West Ham in the semi-final. Yeah, I think So I think it might have been Barcelona, but I was just watching some clips of how he actually tries to shape them up, and it makes sense. I was like, okay, I can see why the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 works in this sense. So, vibes.
Oh my god, no way. Vibes. Oh my god. Yeah, we all know who that Palace fan was. We all know. Mind the closing doors, Roy.
Mind the gap.
Let me just address an inside joke on here that no one's going to understand, but Rich, you need to stop with the train jokes now. After yesterday, you need to stop with the train jokes because you went mad with it.
I just asked a question.
Anyway, moving on. Back on track, as JC says.
Get to the point.
Right, but you know what it is? I just think it's just that sense of excitement because we've seen what he's done with Lask. He managed to get them promoted. Then they finished 4th. They made the Europa League. I believe they might have made the Champions League, but maybe not when he was there. Then he went to Wolfsburg, got them into Europe, went to Frankfurt, won them something. Now, granted, listen, I'm not saying this is going to be an immediate change, but after Vieira, that's the kind of direction we need to keep going if we want to progress. We need to get progressive thinking managers. you know. And obviously, shout out McKenna. I'm going to believe that he just didn't want to leave Ipswich at this time. But the way that obviously it's been put out that he got cold feet, I mean, you're going from one team that's probably battling for promotion, because they're not too far off that, to then leaving that like with what 3 months to go of the season for a relegation battle. It's a bit like, I don't know. But on the flip side, if he did like bottle it, like, is that the sort of manager you want in? So that's why I'm kind of leaning more towards the side of, listen, he's got a good thing going on with Ipswich, you know.
Yeah, he's built that team at Ipswich, and he's going to go into a mess at Palace. Really, if you look at it that way.
100%. 100%. How would we look like actually? Let's see if we can actually build with our current lineup with those who are fit anyway. What could our potential? And I'm not going to say it's against Everton because I don't think it will be by then. I think Paddy or Ray will take it.
So are we saying basically if we tried out 3-4-3 basically, and then I'll just move the wingers a little bit. 3-4-3. Right, so yeah, this. Okay, so we'll definitely go because I know one thing, he does like a goalkeeper that can kick out. So thank God Johnstone's back. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Are we saying fit with our current team with who's in
current fit players? Yeah, we're not going to include Elise and Eze in this.
We can do one. We can do one afterwards if with all fit players, can't we?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. Okay. Anderson will have to go in the middle. Actually, no.
I think
Richards in the middle.
Right.
We have Richards in the middle, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd more so say Richards in the middle. I feel like Anderson prefers playing on the right and Gahey on the left, but Gahey obviously being out at the moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust Mitchell at centre back.
I think it's time for Holding. Is he not back yet?
He's injured.
He's still injured. What the? Has this man just been injured for the last what?
Yeah, he got an ankle injury and had surgery. So Rob Holding's not back until May.
So we.
Then you know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go.
It's either Mitchell
we're gonna have to go
Tompkins.
We're gonna have to go Joe Ward.
Yeah, Wardy. Yeah, Ward can go on.
I'll take that.
I'd
He's
say
fit.
Ward.
Which means that Richards will have to go left centre back, and Anderson in the middle.
Really?
Oh, you wouldn't want Joe Ward in the middle of the three?
No, you would not. I'd much prefer to have Ward on either left or right.
Well, yeah, he's at least kind of a fullback if he's on the right side.
Yeah.
So that's Munoz, Lerma, Wharton, Mitchell. This actually doesn't look too bad now that we're filling this out.
It doesn't actually. This works.
I think it's because of our current injuries. It's going to get really difficult if when we do this with all the fit players.
Because he sort of plays these guys as 10s, doesn't he?
As 10s, yeah.
I feel like Ayew just runs around everywhere anyway.
With that diamond midfield is nice as well.
It is as well.
This doesn't look too bad.
That works. That pentagon of like from the midfield to Mateta works.
And it's compact as well.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Tidy's got a good one here. A good one to think about.
Yeah, I did see that on a few tweets actually, which is a great shout.
And also, a formation like this would suit someone like Gyro, who's got much better passing.
Yeah.
But
now this is where it gets difficult, though.
When everyone's fit again.
I would say, just because Ward has more starts than Gyro this season, I think Ward would probably top it over. Plus, we need a captain. Because who takes the armband now that if both the captain and the vice are out, is it Joachim who takes out armband?
You know what that's cold, you know.
I'm actually torn on what to do with that midfield. I don't want to drop Lerma or Wharton for Decore.
I would probably say I'd be happy if Wharton drops to the bench, just with his youth. You know, just with how young it is, but just
No,
how
I think
crucial.
he needs to
I
play.
know Wharton, Nicky, seeing Wharton
Wharton is
live
cold.
in the
No.
flesh, he is cold. But yeah, I don't know what to do with I don't think the Lerma deserves to be dropped either when they will fit anyway. This is a big problem. But you know what? This is the problem that we wanted.
It's
As Red have said.
Yep. We want we need selection issues, man. And I'm not gonna if it had to come down to like say me, I'm gonna say Lerma would probably get dropped.
Yeah,
And
Lerma over Wharton because Wharton's cold. I'm sorry.
yeah. And that's nothing against Jefferson Lerma. I mean, his goal alone is gonna say, look, choosing goal of the season is gonna be bloody difficult this season, isn't it?
It's
It's not. It's Elise or Lerma, and it's still Elise to me.
Yeah, but we've still got a couple months left in the season.
With everyone injured, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I will. If Ward scores any goal, that's goal of the season. Let's put it that way. But this is probably what it looks like in my eyes if everyone's fit. But I don't want to drop anyone in that midfield for Decore. But if we had to drop one,
I'd say Jefferson.
It'll probably be Lerms, unfortunately. But it does give us options to rotate, and that's something we never do.
I know.
And not only that, when you think
the bench would be peak for other teams. That work rate is crazy.
Exactly.
I think this is Ahmada's redemption season as well.
Because if you're a little bit more central, Hamada will do much better in that Elise position there. Because more of a 10. He's not. They do drift out wide, but the actual position is sort of in a 10 position.
Can I ask?
But also, because it's compact, like even if you were to play like where Wharton is, or stuff, it's not that he's going to be expected to be all over the place.
Rich, can I ask you a question there? When you say Ahmada redemption, I don't think he needs redeeming at all. He's tried his very best, or at least he's tried to get up to the level.
There's
required.
No redemption. He needs a chance. Full stop.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. I think Gladstone's going to like him, you know.
And what? So what you got? Ahamada as the Elise, Franza as the Eze.
Yeah,
so you got two young players.
I'm also bearing this in mind that Elise and Eze or both are gone.
One of them's gone. Actually, then again, though, they're both injured as hell, so they might stay for another season.
I think Ebbs is more likely to leave just because I think with Elise, I think he can afford to stay with us for another year. Whereas I think if Ebbs wants a good move, I think he'll need to go this summer.
Mm.
I reckon the other way around. To be honest, I reckon Elise goes this season just because there's more shouts for right-hand sided wingers than 10s, really, because not many teams use the 10.
Yeah,
anymore.
The 10 is a dying position, you know. Yeah,
it's almost like it's almost like last season's number 9. There was no like out and out number 9s last season for across all of Europe, to be honest.
The thing is, though, I would say that Eze is probably one to cash in on because he is 25 now, so he's not a young player anymore. His price is gonna stay about where it is and then go down. So if we want to be smart, we have to choose Eze because Elise's price will only go up. But remember, they've both got release clauses. So no matter what we do, if someone pays that release clause, it's finished. So right.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? This is Roy on the board almost made me think we don't even have a squad, you know. Granted, half of them's injured. So we've mentioned France on the bench, Ahmad off the bench, Ozo, Jez, Lerma, and then think if you add Ramolas in this setup.
Joe Ward.
Holden, Ebue.
Yellow card that man. Sin bin this man. Sin bin him now.
In a pinch, I think he'd be all right where Anderson is.
I think Klein would do all right as a sub for Munoz.
Yeah. So it's actually funny how a formation change now means we've got more players available in position. It's weird.
In a pinch as well, Lerma can play where Richards is because that's where he played a little bit for
That's a
Bournemouth
good
in that
point.
position. And with
We don't have Kuyate as well, didn't we?
with how Glasner played at Frankfurt, he wants those wider centre backs to sometimes run into the midfield. So I could see Lerma doing that.
Can I just say,
That's I mean, I prefer Richards there, but in a pinch, I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
I'm not gonna lie. Glasner's gonna see Richards passing him like, yeah, big man.
it's not looking good for you, Richards. It's not looking good at all. Can I just say,
I mean,
everyone sort of went at like, oh, will Eze Elise leave? We forgot about Mark. Mark's definitely gone.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think Anderson's gone as well.
I'm
After
going to
this
disagree
season.
there. I'm going to
I
disagree
don't think
there.
Anderson moves. Ever.
You know, I think he takes the armband next year.
Yeah.
He looked good as a captain in the last game.
I think he'll see out his contract because, to be honest with you, I think the kind of money we would want for him, I don't think another team's going to pay that. Bearing in mind we got a sell-on clause as well from Leon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But listen, it is a nice headache to have.
It's a problem that we've never had before.
But you know, since we're all here, let's talk the owners now. Let's really talk about the owners because Texter was Roy-out before me. That in itself is crazy. I was Roy-out after Luton. I was like, yeah, you've been tactically outclassed by Rob Edwards. This ain't it. This ain't it. My guy wanted Fonseca and Glasner from time ago.
Even Potter and them, man.
Yeah. Parrish obviously wanted Roy to stay the whole season, financial reasons as well. And then hearing today that Glasner will be on 4 million a year. Roy is currently on 4.5, apparently. So as it stands,
well, Dan thinks he's on something else, but we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about that.
We don't talk about that one. The question is now, who actually does want the best for our club?
Can I go first?
Go on, Nicky.
I reckon when you see what Texter's done with the passion that he's shown at Fogo, obviously we all saw the run he had, you know, post matches and everything. He wants to see the club that he's obviously involved with do well. Parrish has, raised the club from, extinction itself to where we are now. I reckon everyone wants to do the same, but there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that's a nice way of putting it. Someone wants to go left, Parrish wants to go right. Texter wants to go get Fonseca or Glasner, and Parrish wants our club to be in the championship again. So
That's a great point, Colin. I'm sorry, Paddy, Ray, Dean Kiley, even. you gotta go.
Thank you for the memories. As long as we keep Julian Speroni, don't care. Yeah.
I mean, Paddy, you can go back with Darren.
He'll likely bring in his whole team.
Mr. AM, on that, he played 4-2-3-1 with Wolfsburg, but I don't think he liked it. I don't think he played it for too long.
Well, he's a manager which does like to change his formations quite a lot. He's changed formation at every club he's been at so far. So what's to say that when he comes to Palace, he might not have another formation in mind?
Oh, nah. Oh, God. But hey, at least Dan has predicted that we signed a manager that we wanted to get in. And Dan did Dan called it.
Well, Dan's already got a thread out on it.
I know.
Yeah. Dad, just break down for those who may not have seen the thread. Like, what would Glasner give us?
Do you want me to show it on the screen as you talk through it?
I didn't think he was coming. By the way, it was just the first. It was just the first person that I thought would be better than Roy, who was available.
Imagine this man had weeks of people ready to go. He had a whole schedule ready. First
Yeah,
manager
I'm not
he
gonna
does,
lie.
we bring him
I
in.
had Michael Carrick lined up for Monday, so that went in the bin straight away. What can we expect from him? Well, yeah. So, like you said, he's quite an adaptable person. I think he likes to adapt to the strengths of his players. He'll play. I think he prefers to play, three at the back. He'll use the wing backs to make sure, to play as wide as possible. But at the same time, he'll use those 3 forward players to try and pin back the defence, to try and make the opposition defence quite narrow, which obviously works well when you play wing backs who like. You'll see a lot of like 1-2 passes. Sometimes you might hear that called wall passes, but it generally does like a lot of 1-2s to try and build up the play, and there's a lot of decent rotations as well. What I like about the 2 forwards is that they're generally like a free roll, so they'll drift from one side of the pitch to the other, and they generally tend to stay quite close. So if you can imagine Eze and Elise going from one side of the pitch to another and generally working in tandem together.
Well, sorry to cut you, Dan. John, do not give me hope.
Whew.
Oh,
We can all dream, can't we?
I doubt it. I'm gonna be that guy. I doubt it.
I would say if he's fit, give him another week because we know how how it goes.
Exactly.
good point.
But yeah, as
to be fair,
Dan was
Burnley
saying here,
and Luton are important.
yeah,
Sorry,
as Dan
Dan.
was saying here, the 10 and the 11 here, for example, that would be Eze and Elise, sort of follow each other around the pitch, so they would combine a hell of a lot.
Yeah, and even like the striker is generally asked to drop deep to try and link with the play. So generally, like one of the midfielders or even the centre back might ping a progressive pass through the lines to the striker who's dropped a little bit, and then that striker will then lay it off to another player nearby. So that's another way they progress as well. The only thing I would say really is defensively, his Frankfurt team could be caught out on the break. Is the only thing I would say, which is why I think someone like Gay is so useful to have because he's quite quick and good at recovering. Whereas I don't think Anderson is, or even Richards, to be honest with you. So that would be the only thing that would worry me a little bit. Better at set pieces than we are now, but I mean that's not saying a lot, to be fair. We like to switch the ball, so that wing back will be hugging the touchline pretty much. And obviously, the reason why he asked the centre backs to run into the centre midfield is to try and get an overload on that side of the pitch. Like you can see on that image, for example. Okay, that's not necessarily an overload, but you can see like there's a 3v2 there. And so on. So that's why I like to do it. And obviously, if you're the defensive team, you're going to have more of those players on that side of the pitch, and that's what enables that switch. So yeah, and the press. So the press generally. So every person who I read about who analysed his tactics generally got the sense that his teams had a very good sense of when to like really press hard, or when to leave it a bit and conserve energy. Like from what I read, it seems to be a very good flow. And to be fair, from what I watched, I agree. And they do it more intelligently, so it's not like say a Newcastle press where they'll run after you man for man pretty much. This one they'll just try to block the passing lanes and try and like slowly box you in, and then try and catch you when a press is triggered. And so I mean, I think he's a very good manager. I think he was linked with a Spurs job before Postecoglou went there. He's been linked with a Bayern Munich job. So everywhere he's been, he's had success. Like he finished in a Champions League spot with Wolfsburg. He won the Europa League with Frankfurt and got them to like the German FA Cup equivalent final in this final season. But the only thing, right, and this is going to be hilarious going forwards, is that the reason why he left Wolfsburg and Frankfurt was that he fell out with the board both times because of their transfer strategies. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that one pans out.
Well, to be fair, I think if we start, I guess, doing business like how Leon are doing, then I don't think there's any issues there. What do you think?
Well, that's the thing. I think, yeah. I mean, I've always said this. Like, I think the players, okay, maybe apart from one or two, but generally the players that Dougie's brought in since he's been in, I think have been pretty solid. Like, I don't think any of them have really been. Well, I mean, some of them have been rubbish, but they've not cost as much money. So I think on that sense, we're fine. It's just I don't think we did it enough or do it enough. I think that's just part of the problem of the depth. But I mean, yeah, as long as we just do what we're doing, but just more frequently, I don't see what the problem would be. Because we've solved the manager issue now. Just need to solve the recruitment issue, and also the terrible burgers in the homestyle.
The White Horse is way better with the burgers. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I wouldn't have a burger
Really?
at the ground in general, if I'm really honest. Even the Palace Ale's crap.
No facts.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, that they don't sell that in the homestyle. Well, he's not in the bottom tier anyway.
So just quickly before I leave, I'll jump on the stream soon. To big up first and foremost, 86 watching. Like whatever platform you're watching on, thank you so much. But feel free to just jump on the YouTube link real quick. Just smash the like button. It really helps us out, guys. And then just go about your day. But let's keep interacting with the guys. I'm gonna get myself ready for this other stream. It's about like 9 representatives for all the other teams. It's a one-off stream, just talking about the relegation thing. I'm gonna have a massive smile on my face now because it's potentially not Roy. But get well soon, Roy, by the way. Other than that, what else is there? Yeah, we're gonna drop the link as well shortly, so you lot can come in to this stream and have your say on the matters. And Oliver Glasner soon. We're just expecting a delayed announcement, obviously, with what's happened. But yeah, hey, let's go. Big up.
Cool.
Peace out.
So, as we said before, we was thinking anyone but Roy. Just not Paddy either.
No.
And somehow
some people are counting Pardew.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some people say Pardew. I was leaning more on the side of Allardyce, personally, because of what he nearly saved Leeds from an unsavable place. I thought Allardyce would have been a good move, maybe. But somehow we've gone from a manager, and there's no managers out there, to somehow getting a manager that's like a huge step up again.
Agreed.
I would say that Glasner's probably a manager that's out of our league. I wouldn't say that as to cuss us, but I feel like he is. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't remember who said it on Twitter. Like a big account said it on Twitter that we were punching above our weight.
Euro expert said it.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. So yeah, I remember him saying that, and to be honest, I agree. Like I said, like he was linked with the Spurs job. He's been linked with a Bayern Munich job. I don't think you get those links if you're not a decent manager. And I mean, he's got a European trophy to show for that. And yeah, I mean, I'm surprised not to see him at maybe someone a bit better. But then I suppose maybe that's just the way things are. Maybe we impress him with the way, with whatever we said. We probably lied to him.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, we lie to all our managers. Let's be real. But I think that the draw of the Premier League is just huge, isn't it? Because you got all the top 6 managers, like big names. But then before Unai Emery took over Villa were around where we are, and they managed to attract a manager like that. Brighton managed to attract a De Zerbi, but they may have gotten lucky due to lockdown when it comes to that one. But still, a manager of a decent caliber. You've got good managers all over the Premier League from top to bottom, really. And I think that this appointment, if it goes through, obviously, is huge for the league, because it just shows that maybe even though this isn't the most competitive league this season, that potentially next season it'll be, again, the best league in the world.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think at the moment as well, I think manager, the manager market at the moment is quite an interesting. Is quite interesting at the moment. 'Cause I think there's a lot of managers who are young with potential who have something to prove. Because okay, yeah, Glasner's had he has won a trophy. Don't get me wrong, but both teams he was only there for 2 seasons. Well, in Germany, so I think maybe he'll want to prove that he can build something a bit more long term, something maybe a bit more from scratch.
Yeah. More
So-
on your point. Sorry. Go on, Dev. Go
No,
on.
go on.
Just more on JC's point about the Premier League just being this massive draw. I mean, it is the most watched football league in the world. It has it has got more European champions than any other country in Europe. It's got probably the best domestic cup competition in the world, or at least the oldest. It brings in huge amounts of money across revenue, across TV, across all platforms of social media. The Premier League is the destination to be. It's just extremely difficult to survive because it is, such a dog eat dog world. We've seen it where if you are sustainable, it's good for just a couple seasons, and then your fan bases are going to think, okay, we're sustainable. What's next? There was a post quoting, I think it was after the Chelsea game on Sky, that I think I think it might have been Carragher who said, look, Palace have had sustainability in the Premier League, but what is next? He actually acknowledged the fact that the fans are just wanting ambition. Glasner represents said ambition.
Yeah, I think they also showed all the teams that have got into Europe in the time that we've been in the Premier League as well. And there's just loads of teams that are around us, and even teams that are in the Championship now who have got there as well. I think another thing on Glasner, it's only a 2-year deal as well.
With the option of one more.
Yeah, so potentially, obviously, if it goes wrong, it's only 2 years, so the sacking fee, the payout won't be as bad. But I've also heard that he's got a release clause if Bayern Munich want him as well.
That could be something.
So they can break him out of that contract whenever they want.
Tuchel's
if
not
they really
looking,
want him.
Tuchel was not looking stable at the moment.
I was going to say, you know what, actually, to put a slight down on it, but something that actually wouldn't surprise me to happen would be that he does well with us until the end of the season. Tuchel gets a sack at Bayern, and then potentially he goes in the summer. But then I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the intricacies of the contract. We don't know if it has to be a year, whatever, first or whatever. But that is something to watch out for. But then, to be honest with you, if that did happen, like I was saying, there's plenty of young managers out there with decent potential who have something to do. Like, to be honest, the whole firefighter manager doesn't really exist anymore. That's the problem. Like, that's the thing. That doesn't really exist anymore.
I feel like if Glasner comes in, does really well, gets us up the table, gets us out of it, who says that we couldn't attract a pot for next season if that was the case for him to go?
Yeah, completely agree. If Glasner, is announced and everything, would he be the first manager to actually have honor to have an honor to his name? I can't quite.
So when he joined us, I think so.
Yeah, because Pardew hasn't got any honors. Vieira certainly doesn't. Hodgson came close. He's got finalists, but I want to go Allardyce. No,
he got the England job.
Allardyce never won a major trophy.
Allardyce is the only undefeated England manager, so yeah, that counts. I'll take it. But yeah,
I was going to say Terry Venables won stuff after us.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy thought. Anyway.
Also, how crazy is it that we've gone from dreading to have Southgate to now having Glasner? That is mental,
Imagine, right? Glasner does leave in the summer to go to Bayern Munich, and then we bring in Gareth Southgate. But I think Gareth Southgate's staying on after the Euros, I think, isn't he?
I thought he was quitting after the Euros.
It's very much a different. I think it depends on what the FA want to do post. So, depending on the England result in the summer, it's also going to be quite difficult to see. Like, do we want Southgate in the England job
Yeah,
more?
I
or
think
does
if he
want
wins it, it'll be a hard to sack him.
Oh, I
Again.
reckon they keep him on again. They keep him on. I do about Southgate. Talksport, right? They love like they are moving towards a pause
Yeah.
for how much they want Southgate at Palace.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nicky. Fonseca's out of contract at the end of the season as well at Lille.
That'd be interesting because I thought, well, because they got European football this season, didn't they? And then I don't know where they are in the table right now. Actually, to be honest.
Well, he's not signing a deal because he's also got beef with Lille's board. So I guess that's similar to Glasner. And he didn't sign for us because we couldn't promise him what he wanted.
True.
Also, the link is in the chat, so if you guys want to jump in quick before we round up, then please do so.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, let's say something does happen and in the summer we are re-looking for whatever reason. Like I said, like you got Fonseca, you got McKenna, you got Carrick, you've got Slot, you've got Thiago Motta. You know, there are plenty of options out there as well. So if ever does go south, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not. You know, if anything was to go south, there's no excuse to go back to a manager like Hodgson or Sam Allardyce or someone like that.
Just to answer your question, Dan, Lille are currently, as it stands, joint fifth in the league with Lens, just ahead on goal difference and 2 points behind Brest, who are in fourth.
2 points behind who?
Hey. Back at the Nessie says Hodgson won in Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland. Big up Back of the Nest, big up D, big up Patrick, big up everyone who's part of that channel. If you haven't, please go subscribe to these Donnies as well. They do great content. Got a stream at 10:15 tonight, so if you're still around, go watch that. Oh.
Who joined and then left?
Someone called Testimony. They need to connect their mic before they can add them to the stream. Yeah, if you're... Oh, he's gone now. Oh, well. But, Dan, how long do you think it will take for him to implement his ideals? Like, do you think if he gets signed tonight, do you think we'll be playing his way by the Everton game, or do you think that he would stick it out? Because there have been rumours of Paddy McCarthy taking over for the Everton game.
It's a good question. I think the only thing that does concern me is that Glasner did have slow starts at Frankfurt and at WOLFSBURG, but I don't know for what reason. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. If they had hard games or if there was something else going on, I don't know. So that would that suggests that it would take probably a few games at least for him to really bed in what the players want to do. And also, you got to remember, at the moment, our players haven't been told to attack in about a season, well, 2 seasons. So he's going to tell them to attack, and they're going to be like, "What? What does that mean?"
What is this mystical word you've told me? Attack?
Goals?
What are goals?
Goals? Well, in 5 years, I want to be playing for Man City.
He's going to go up to Odson Edouard and John Philippe and be like, "Guys, I want you to play as strikers." Strikers? What's that? I don't know that word.
Oh, you mean the furthest forward defender? Ah.
Well, Patrick has joined us, and he has been Roy out for a hot minute. How are you feeling, Patrick? I know you're happy.
Yeah, the celebration.
It's my birthday today, so I guess that's why they fired him today.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Patrick.
How young are you?
No, I'm not young. I'm a lot older than I look. I'll leave it at that. So what I'll say is, listen, this is not a personal thing. I've never been a Roy Hodgson fan. I mean, I've been a Palace fan for a long time. And when I saw him in England, I didn't like what he did in England. So when he came to Palace, I was happy the first year. The first year was phenomenal. Keeping him up that year with the ball was great. and even the second year. But after that, it just became something I couldn't watch. I mean, I saw you, JC, at the West Ham game, at the Bournemouth game, Liverpool. I mean, it was hard to watch that. It's hard to watch what he did. I'm thankful what he's done, but I just hope that Glasner, from what I'm reading, I've done a lot of research all day. I've been, watching videos and reading up on him. It seems to me as if it would be a very good appointment. And if nothing else, is forward thinking. I'm listening to what you guys are saying. It's definitely a Textor hire. He wanted him at Lyon. So I'm really happy that Textor got involved. But again, I just think it's something that we had to do at this point. I just don't see we were. I mean, Dan does a great job breaking down tactics. I cannot for the life of me figure out what Hodgson's tactics are. I don't know what his tactics are. Glasner has tactics. He plays a 3-4-3. He'll go to a 4-3-3. He'll change it up. You know what he's trying to do. With Hodgson, it's just like you just said, we just go out there and play. Just go out and play. So in order for this to work, it's going to take time. So that's the thing. I'm glad it doesn't have the Monday game, because to me, Everton away is a write-off anyway. We're not going to win that game. We get a point. Hallelujah. Hopefully by maybe Luton, which is a couple of games away, you've got Burnley, you got Furt, but by Luton, by that time, maybe you've got some things that are ingrained in them, how to press, how to play with the wing back, etc. Then you're going to go after that. You've got the Newcastle game, you've got Forest. Those games we can win. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to take time, and the fan base has to be patient. I mean, I could guarantee you, though, we lose those first 3 or 4 games. Oh, Glasner's rubbish. Bring Roy back. Blah blah blah. So all that stuff. But listen, I'm just happy that it's a forward-thinking appointment. He's young. He'll attract younger players, which is good. He might keep a couple of players that we have that might be leaving. We're gonna lose, obviously, probably Olise for sure, but maybe Eze stays now. Maybe Anderson stays now. Obviously Wharton will get a chance to play more France. So for me, I just like the appointment. When it becomes official, but. Again, it's not the person about Roy. It's not personal. I just didn't like the way the football. It was just hard to watch.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cody, what are you thinking? You happy?
Oh yeah, I love the decision. I think it was time for Roy to go. We all know that, but I think this Glasner. I mean, I kind of used to watch Bundesliga a couple of years back, and what it did with Frankfurt, even though. It ended the way it did over there. It did a pretty fair job of keeping that team stable and being able to, use his ideas in a way that was helping out the team prior to what they were doing before. Now for us, I think it's going to be a refreshment, of course, but I like that he uses wing backs. I think we can be an attacking team. It's just we haven't had a manager to be able to do that. And I've been preaching all year, like we just need to have more of a confidence going up the pitch with the ball and attacking. And hopefully this guy can do the job for us and keep us out of relegation.
Mm-hmm. I think that as we built our little combined or our 11, when we've got our players back, we've actually, with a formation change, we seem to have a lot more cover around the pitch.
Yeah.
So, for example, in the midfield, you've got Wharton, Lerma, and Decore. So you've got 3 players that can do that role. So we can actually maybe see some rotation. And he actually implemented a lot of rotation at Frankfurt. I think he bedded in, 2 right-backs in his time through the youth academy. So, maybe we could see Jez sort of switching from that winger role to more of a 10, more of like a wide 10. Because he don't play wingers, he plays 2 10s, but they drift out wide to sort of go together around the pitch.
Right.
So it's very nice free-flowing football when they're going forwards, and it's very similar to Thomas Frank's in the fact that his teams are so direct when they get the ball. And I feel like that's something that we just missed as Palace fans. We just get the ball, muck around with it for a long time, and then we start trying to do something. It'll be nice and refreshing to actually see us grab the ball and try and go for it straight away.
Yeah, and I also think that, you go talk about Teo for next season. As a wing back, he's perfect. If you see him play in the 21s, he's a wing back. I watched him play Sunday at Molenbeek. He's got the wing back. He's not great defensively, but he can get forward, can cross the ball. You got Munoz was a wing back. He's played wing back, when he was in Belgium. He's perfect for that. And you're right. I mean, having players like Olise, Eze in those dual 10 roles that he plays in that little box with the 2 holding midfielders is perfect. You got Raksaki, he can play in there also. France can play in there
Francois,
also. You know what I mean? It's just the
Armada.
flexibility, Hamad. Exactly. You don't have to have these worrying about, well, we don't have a wide player like Wilf or a wide player, it's so much better. And I love the flexibility and the way that Olise can play out but come inside. Isaac can, even though he's not great outside, can come inside the same way France can play outside, but it's better inside. It's just, to me, the system works better for him. But again, what I like about him is that he's got a system that he likes, but he's not stuck to one system. If it doesn't work, he changed. I looked it up, and he started in 4-3-3 at Frankfurt, and it went and converted to the 3-4-3.
Right.
Yeah, and then at Wolfsburg he played a 4-2-3-1, so he's very open to changing.
Exactly. So,
which is what we. I mean, we've, like I've said time and time again, teams know what we're doing because we kept doing the same thing under Roy. Mm-hmm. I think with this guy, we're going to have a lot more creativity, whether it's with the players on the pitch and the formations we use. It's going to be a very good unpredictability for a lot of teams that we get to face coming up here for the rest of the season. And I think that might give us that hair advantage that we need to actually get games won or maybe get the final goals or hold-offs we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cody, you make a great point there, because with Hodgson, you could literally pick the team literally as the full-time whistle ends of the game before. You could pick the full starting 11, which just makes you so predictable. And I think there aren't actually that many teams that play three at the back in the Premier League now. So maybe it might be a little bit of a shock again to try and play against other teams because they're not used to defending against more players, let's say. Oh, what's your thoughts on Glasner? Are you happy that Roy's gone finally?
Well, not in this circumstances, unfortunately. But
it's a bit bittersweet to be celebrating something when Roy's not well. I feel that needs to be said as well.
Yeah. But it's not every day you get a namesake joining your football team, isn't it?
Are you looking forward to something that he's going to do, like his new tactics, seeing something new at Selhurst?
I mean, I'm not a tactician. I just watch for football. I don't watch analysing. But yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be something that shakes the players to their core because they've never seen anything like this before. Different tactics.
Definitely, it's gonna be hard for him because he has to hit the ground running, as Patrick says, and we have got games coming up that we just need to win. I think looking at two of them is definitely the Luton and the Burnley game at home. We have to win both of them. Do you think that he'll be able to make his mark and get the team playing in time for those two big games?
I mean, Burnley game will most likely be his first game in charge. I mean, it still hasn't happened yet. I still have PTSD from Favre, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm not saying anything until he's appointed.
I agree, because that was a Fabrizio thing as well, wasn't it? He said it was done, but then clearly didn't happen.
So fingers crossed his first game's the Burnley game. He has to get 3 points at must because Burnley are not very good right now. I don't know when the Luton game is. So
it's March 9th. So if you look at the schedule, if you say that he won't have a chance to really get anything done until Burnley or even Spurs, after that you've got Luton March 9th, Newcastle home March 16th, Forest away on the 30th. So there's a week break in between, I guess, international break probably, or FA Cup probably. And then we've got Bournemouth away. So for me, if you can get your tactics and involved in, you've got 1, 2, to me, you've got 4 games there you can get points from at least, instead of just saying, you know what?
Yeah.
You're giving the games away, you're giving the points away. So for me, that's when it's going to be,
I'd say 4 wins keeps us up as well. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, funny enough, Simon Jordan made a stupid comment. He said that 34 points would keep us up this year, which I don't think 34. That seems very low, but I would say probably 38 for sure keeps you up, right? 36, 38. So we're on what? 24. What are we on? 24. So yeah, you're right. 3 more wins is 36. That should be no problem. So. But the whole thing is honestly just being optimism. It's not about. It's not about Roy. Obviously, we feel bad about Roy. It's more about, like I said, about having a young manager again, who's wanted by teams like Bayern Munich, who Lyon wanted. You know, it's very rare that Palace get a manager that people actually want. And you guys talking before about he has maybe a break clause in it going to Bayern. I mean, at the end of the season. I mean, that's mad for Palace to have a manager who's that wanted. So for me, it's good to have, you know, that, because that just gives you that enthusiasm again. You know what I mean? And just the hope.
It does make me wonder what lies they're telling people when they're signing them, because we signed França off of Real Madrid and Chelsea, and he came to us. Now we got Glasner as well. So what are they saying? What is this project that they're building? Because
the Ballon d'Or clause.
I hope that Glasner's like one of the bigger pieces in this project to get it going.
But to be fair with that, though, I mean, even with that being said, I mean, who we have signed and brought in, it is a beginning towards the future rather than sitting, stalling, or falling back to the past.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hope we stick to it though. That's the thing, because we started with Vieira, we got rid of Vieira, rightly so, but then we went back to Roy again.
But again,
there needs to be a progression there.
But what I'll say again is, JC, is that the difference this time is that this is a Texter and the other owners. This is not Parish. Because again, from what I was reading, Parish hadn't even met or spoken to him until yesterday or today. They all have been on board before. So whereas before it was always him bringing in Vieira, that was really his choice. Him bringing in Roy. This is the others. So he'll be under less pressure, but it's more of a thing where it's someone that he hasn't picked. So he can be more patient. He's like, well, I didn't pick him anyway, so I don't have to get rid of him, because the pressure to get rid of the ball was on him because he picked the ball. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He picked Vieira, but he hasn't picked Glasner. This is I gotta believe the other two have been involved in it too. They have to have been involved, not just Texter, because even though Texter's gonna fund it and knew him, I gotta believe that Harris and Blitzer had a say in this too. Because it's something they want to keep their investment going, stay in the league, build the brands, you know, etc.
If we get relegated, their investment is overnight, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're done. Yeah, I mean,
no newsstand.
That wasn't going to happen anyway.
No, I think we have a better chance of staying up now since we have Glasner. I mean, he's just going back looking, like I said, at teams he's been on for Wolfsburg and Frankfurt. I mean, it's a completely different. It's some similarities, but also completely different from what Roy's ever brought to the table for us. So, I mean, with the attacking amount, I do believe we're going to see a lot more goals. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But with how he plays, from what I've witnessed so far, I mean, he likes to press. He likes to, you know, get after it on the back end. So, I mean, and that's completely different from us having to sit back and, you know, fingers crossed we don't score goals. So, I think with just that positivity that we're going to have from him with the attacking mindset, I think that will give us just enough edge just to stay up and be able to finish out the season without getting relegated.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing is that it's a lot more onus on the players now. They have to start producing better, because, you know, we can play about Roy you want, and I thought Roy did a poor job in a lot of ways, but a lot of times the players just didn't. They didn't do enough, especially, you know, goals in the first and fifth and the second minute, goals late in matches. A lot of it you can bring down to tactics. A lot of it just like switching off, and that's on the players. So hopefully a new manager, new ideas, you know, new thought process. By the way, Glass on the sideline, very enthusiastic. Very. If you watch him on the sideline,
new backroom staff as well, hopefully.
New backroom staff. Right, they're getting a guy who's the Middlesbrough former player from Borough who played assistant coach. So, but like I said, so now the players hopefully will buy into it. You know, you'll get more out of people like Anderson and more out of Mateta and more out of players who aren't playing like France and Ahmad will get more involved, that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Again, like Paul said, just hopefully it gets done officially soon. You know, because I hate it would be really terrible if it was something would happen at the back end. That would be Palace, but hopefully not.
Apparently, Glasner's following Palace on his Instagram. Don't know if that means anything.
Is he really?
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't into account. I'll go look that up. Didn't know that. It's interesting.
Well, I think Vieira done that like literally a day before he actually signed for Palace, didn't he?
Oh, no.
Something like that. But
didn't he tweet prematurely before
Palace announced it? I think Vieira announced himself, didn't he? By accident. But I think the only other thing that we need to talk about is just that we've talked about the new manager. Dan said he started slow, but could we potentially get lucky and get a new manager bounce? Because everyone that seems to sack their manager around now seems to get a bounce out of it. Do you think maybe a new manager bounce we could maybe beat? Maybe have a little shock against Spurs, first game in there, maybe. I mean Burnley, first game in there. Maybe a good performance against Spurs.
I think so. I think it's just the unpredictability aspect of, it's a new manager in the new league, and other managers might not be so familiar with how he plays or whatever. I think there's always an aspect of where we can actually get a win with just based off the unpredictability of how he's going to set up our players. Because, I mean, the league's seen us this season so far, know how Roy set everybody up. So, I mean, when you have a new manager that comes in like this guy, I think teams are going to be like, oh, well, this is different. We're not going to, we're going to have to change some things up in the game that we didn't have to before facing them. So I think because of that, we could probably squeeze out some wins that we didn't think we got this year.
Well, we got it last year on the Roy, right? The Leicester game, we won the first game, right? 2-1, your home game.
Yeah,
so
that was Mateta with a last-minute goal.
Right. So, I mean, it's possible. I don't remember many new manager bounces with Palace, but Pardew had one for sure. Exactly. Yeah, definitely had one. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be nice. And I think you're right, JC. It depends on the match of these first. If it's the Burnley game, I don't see why we can't win that game. I mean, we have to win it, but we should win that game.
The Pulis have won.
Pulis came in after Holloway. Can't remember.
Yeah.
I know that Big Sam had a stinker for about 3 games, and then he went on a run of beating Spurs, Liverpool, and Chelsea in a week.
It only took the 4-0 against Sunderland to kick him up the arse.
Yeah, I still remember that. That was the bloody Defoe goal, wasn't it?
I was listening to the radio, just couldn't believe it.
But guys, I think we've spoken about everything. Is there anything else that we speak about when it comes to Glasner?
Excited. That's all I can say.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, I agree. I'm with Cody. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, it will be announced sometime soon. So yeah.
Yeah, I hope Roy gets better as well.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, it's never. You never want to see anybody get sick or get ill.
Yeah. Apparently, he collapsed like when all the squad were on the pitch training, so everyone witnessed it as well, which is never good, really.
Not the first time, right? Didn't he do it once? Wasn't he sick before?
I think it was at the start of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He missed the Everton game, was it? Everton? Not Everton.
I think it was the Villa game.
Villa, the 3-1 game. Yeah. So.
But guys, before we wrap up, we need to go around letting all the guests have their platform. So Patrick, please shout out yourself and your stream that you're having later. Appreciate it.
Yeah. D and I think AJ T will be doing a live stream back in Nest at around. I almost said 5:15. That's my time. What, 10:15 your time? Yeah, 10:15 your time. So if you could tune later on, everybody, that'd be great. But again, big up to everybody, Eagle Eye Football, man. You guys do a great job.
Cheers, man. I liked your meme about John Cena and The Rock. If you've seen it, it's a banger. Shout out yourself, man.
Go to Twitter Oliver Bear and YouTube Oliver Bear. You'll see the Palace memes on there, as well as some gaming stuff.
Sweet. Short and simple. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This is the Glasner in, Roy out stream. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'm excited now. Up the Palace.
Up the Palace.
Eagles!